Good day! This is Teacher Rowan. I'll be your guide in exploring Google Apps for education, for teaching and learning. In Google for Education, teachers can connect and collaborate easily while staying on task. It gives teachers the freedom to spend more time personalizing the learning experience and less time managing it. Students can learn essential skills such as 21st century problem solving, which they can use it in their future careers. As such, the accessibility features will also help and assist every learner to do their best work. Google offers different useful applications that we can use to connect education to technology. This will help our teachers as a 21st century educators to innovate and find ways on how to make teaching and learning more exciting, engaging, effective, and flexible to the demands of the society. Let's re-explore the education experience by discovering new angles to create, collaborate, and communicate as one. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Ang pagkatuto, huwag gawing komplikado. Sulong edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na Pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
All right, an awesome and amazing afternoon to all of us. Kung nasa Luzon man kayo, Visayas at Mindanao, I am so grateful to have this opportunity teaching you the subject speech. By the way, substitute teacher lang po ako ni Sir DJ. Yes, I know you have enjoyed a lot with Tutor DJ, but this afternoon, it's Tutor Ruby. We'll be having the topic about proper use of contractions for a fluid speech. So, ayan, speech lesson tayo this afternoon. So, let's be guided with this objective. At the end of the session, you will be able to use contractions properly for fluid speech. Oh, are you familiar with the word fluid speech? Or you're just familiar with the word fluent? What's the difference between the word fluent and fluid? What is fluidity or fluently? But before that one, let me greet. Good afternoon, Angel Hernandez Dalwampo. Okay, ang subject natin today is speech. Alright, so good afternoon, Gracel Hingpit Francisco and Amalie de la Pina. Good afternoon. Okay, so let's clarify first the terms fluency versus fluidity. All right, so if you're having a speech class, we should be knowing the two terms. All right, so good afternoon to you, Mutalib Da Isaisa from Quezon City. All right, so first, when you talk about fluency, it includes the skill of having able to express specific content and often spontaneously with is. I know maybe some of you are skillful already in speaking English when it comes to your grammatical structure or some vocabularies, appropriate vocabulary in not just in writing but also in speaking, reading, and listening skills. Okay, but uh, fluency is more attached to content and is of communication. So it's more on the structure, it's more on the content, and of course, to communicate. That's the essence, to communicate with others. All right. But this fluidity has more to do with speed of speech, intonation, and rhythm. Okay. Then an example for fluidity is a person who pauses and hesitates a lot would not have achieved fluidity. So if right now you still lack confidence in delivering a speech, maybe because we lack some skills, specifically the fluidity. Mm. But when you are confident enough, there's no pause, there's no hesitation anymore. Wow, that means to say you achieve fluidity. But if right now you still pause and hesitates a lot, we still have room, big room for improvement. Even tutorials still have to improve. So let's learn together this afternoon, dear learners. All right, so good afternoon po from Moncayo National High School, Davao de Oro. This is so informative. Yes, that's from Lizelle Liva Ordaneta. Yeah, so maybe to some, they are not yet familiar with the terms fluency versus fluidity. So this is a great part in learning and developing our communication skills, especially when it comes to speech. All right. And fluidity is more attached to style and delivery. As you can see, fluency more attached to content and ease of communication, but in fluidity, more attached to style and delivery. How do you deliver a certain speech? Okay, but this afternoon, we have a certain topic to discuss. Okay, so in the first statement, I am thinking about eating an ice cream. Oh, how about you? Have you thought about eating ice cream this time? Okay, wow. I see here the message from Motalib da Isaisa. Fluency is the ability to use language as the principal manner of communication in whatever communicative scenario, while fluidity is when a student gets past the micro intricacies and alternative ways of expression they have adopted the thinking of the language. Wow. Wow, that's good. Thank you for sharing, Mutalib Dai Saisa. That's a good input. Okay, so this is the first statement. And on the other side, I'm thinking about eating an ice cream. Okay, if you notice, there are words uh, colored with red. All right, so the first uh, statement, the red words are I am. There are two words. But on the other side, There's already one word now. It becomes I'm. Okay. Next, my husband does not like eating an ice cream. So the two words in red are does not. Okay, there are two words. On the other side, my husband doesn't like eating an ice cream. So there's already a one word on the other side, written in red text. Doesn't. All right. What do you think are the difference between the uh, words with the red color and the other side? Okay, let's have this. Before I will proceed to the next, good afternoon from San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, Pelisa Pamis. All right, thank you for being with us this afternoon. Yan. So, this is our topic this time. Contraction. Okay, the proper use of contraction for fluid speech. So, what is contraction? I know way back when we were in elementary days, high school, when we were in college, or even at whatever level we are now, contraction is part. Contraction is still a part in our lives, especially to the learners that we are having in our country, not just in our country, but all over the world. Okay, so when we talk about contraction, it's when two words are made into one using an apostrophe. Hmm. I hope everyone is familiar with the punctuation apostrophe. So, example, the two words are not becomes one word. It is being contracted and it becomes aren't. Okay. And the second word, I am. So, there are two words here, I am, and it becomes one word, I'm. Okay, so this is an example of contraction. Aren't and I'm. Then the apostrophe replaces the letter. So in the first word here, aren't, the missing letter is the letter O. Letter O from the word not is no longer visible because it is being replaced with the apostrophe. That's why it's called now a contraction. Two words become one. Then here on the second, from the two words I am, it becomes I'm. The missing letter here is the letter A, and it is being replaced with the apostrophe. That's why it becomes one word, I'm. Now, it's good for us to know how to use contractions correctly. So, contractions are shortened words that use an apostrophe to combine two words into one. Again, when we talk about contraction, words are shortened from two words, it becomes one. Okay, and why we should be knowing this? Because understanding the proper use of contractions can help you master the English language. All right. So, again, contractions are shortened words, and these are important. It's important for us to understand so that uh, we can improve and we can master the English language. So there's a certain rule in contraction. Okay. Generally, all we have to do is to replace the letters that were removed from the original words. Okay. What will you replace to the letters? It will be replaced with an apostrophe. Okay? Apostrophe when you make the contraction. Apostrophe plays a very significant role in contraction. It replaces the letters that we removed from the original words. So, if you combine the word is plus not, so there are two words here, is plus not, to form one word, isn't. What is the missing letter here? The missing letter is the letter O. What is being replaced with the letter O? It is replaced with the apostrophe. You remove the letter O from not and replace it with an apostrophe. Yeah, that's the rule. That's the main rule in contraction. But there's a common exception to this rule. Okay? The word want. Okay, everyone right there. Are you familiar with the word want? If the word isn't is a combination of the words is and not, if the words aren't uh, is a combination of the words are and not, how about the word want? What combination of words made this? Anyone? Okay. So, good afternoon there, Edgy Bangiban Sandoy, watching from Bangkal, Carlos Iloilo. All right, good afternoon. So, why want is an exception to this rule? Okay, wow. According to EG, will not. Oh, wow, good job, LG. But do you think your answer is correct? Let's check. Yes. The contracted word want, W-O and apostrophe T, is a shortened form of will not. So you are correct, Edgy. But you can see the word will is not in the contraction at all. All right. Wow. Oh, good afternoon, Odiadem Tiruseram. Watching from Kuwait. Wow, international yung mga viewers natin this afternoon. Okay? So again, yes, there is a rule in contraction, but there's an exception to this rule. The contracted word won't, okay, from the words will not. Now, again, what are contractions? So the most common contractions are made of verbs, auxiliaries, or modals attached to other words. There are always pair of words. Sometimes there are three words. Okay, example here. The two words, he would. Then you can see an arrow. The two words become one, which is hid. Okay? He would or hid. Next, I have. The two words became one, known as I've. Next, they are. There. You cannot. You can't. Okay, so these are very common contractions. We can read it in any text, in most text. All right. He would turn to hid. I have to I've. They are to there. You cannot to you can't. Another examples here, common contractions. Could have. So the two words could have becomes one. How to read this? Could The V here, after the apostrophe VE, you can read that it's like the sound of. Could, could. All right. Could have, could. So the sound of VE there after the apostrophe, it's like the sound of. OF, of. Could. All right. Another. He had or he would. He had or he would. And it turns hid. Hid. Then the two words he is turns to his. He will or she will turns to he'll or she'll. I had becomes I'd. All right, two words became one. So again, these are common contractions that we need to know for us to achieve fluidity in our speech. Not just in spelling, not just in writing, but also in pronunciation. Like the combination of could have, the pronunciation for this is could have, could. All right. Then let's. Okay. So the first here is the contraction let's, and the two words let us. Now, when to avoid contractions? So, in developing our fluidity in our speech, we need also to remember that there are times that we need to avoid contractions. It's not okay to use contraction at all times. There are rule when to use or when to avoid contractions. All right, but before that, good afternoon to Lalaine Ancheta, watching and listening from Kidapawan, DepEd tayo, Kidapawan City Division. All right, thank you for being with us this afternoon. So here, if the contraction could have more than one meaning, okay, please avoid. You don't use contraction if certain contraction have more than one meaning. For example, the contraction of should, okay, should can mean she had or she would. Okay, there are two possible meanings for this. It's quite confusing. So if it's not necessary, please avoid this kind of contraction. Another, if the contraction results in lack of clarity, avoid it. Okay. If the meaning of that certain contraction is not so clear, better not to use it. Third, if more than one word is contracted, for example, he'd for he would have, okay, please don't use it. As much as possible, only one word is contracted, not more than one word. So, for clarity, you better use he would have than had. Okay. Then, if have is pronounced of when elided, could have instead of could have. So, it's better not to use contraction and statements like this because when you talk about fluidity, it's good to express your thoughts and ideas, not just for the content but for further meaning. Okay, you can speak the language, you can use the English language as much as you can, and others can understand you clearly. Please do it. Avoid confusing uh, contractions in your statements. So let's move now to learning task one. Wow, I have here good afternoon, Amalie de la Peña from Division of Negros Oriental. Okay, so let's read and answer its question. Now, which contraction uses the apostrophe correctly? A. Owen don't like to walk. B. Doesn't like to run. C. Owen don't like to swim. D. He don't like to sing. All right. Please don't forget to write the number and the letter of the correct answer in our comment box. Okay? Which contraction uses the apostrophe correctly? Again, write the number and the letter of the correct answer. All right, let's check your answer. Oh, yes. We have here Fee Lorenzo Arzarcon. Good afternoon. Watching from Porais National High School from SDO San Jose City. Okay. Yes, and the correct answer for number one is okay. He doesn't like to run. Okay. So, among the four sentences, only letter B uses the apostrophe correctly. And you are correct. Motalib Dai Saisa and Jason Brody. Okay, you are correct with that. The answer is letter B. Uh-huh. Why? Because the word here, the contracted word doesn't, originally came from the two words does not. Okay, and that's correct. Now let's move to number two. Okay. All right. For number two, which contraction uses the apostrophe correctly? Still with the same answer. All right. I mean, the same concern. Which contraction uses the apostrophe correctly? Okay, let's have this. All right. Okay, you can send your answer now. Go, go, go. Is it A, she will read books tomorrow? B, she'll read books tomorrow. Look at the spelling there. You know, the spelling and contraction is very important. Okay. Then, C, she'll read books tomorrow. The apostrophe is from between she and double L. Okay. Next, she, the spelling is SHEW apostrophe ILL, read books tomorrow. Okay, let's check if it's correct. Okay. All right. And the correct answer is letter C. She'll read books tomorrow. Okay. Now, the word she apostrophe double L, originally, it came from what two words? Anyone who can give the correct answer? Mm-hmm. All right, let's check. Yes, it came from the two words she will. Okay, she will. And let's proceed to the next. For number three, which contraction uses the apostrophe correctly? There are four choices there. A, don't run in the hallways. B, I can't get this bottle open. C, she won't stop texting to him. Or D, she'll sell the bike next week. Okay, please take note in letter A, the apostrophe is between the N and T. And now letter B, the apostrophe is after letter T, second. And in letter C, the apostrophe is between N and T. She won't stop texting to him. And letter D, I'll sell the bike next week. Okay. Oh, wow. According to Caroline, the answer is letter C. Edgy also says the answer is letter C. And let's check. Okay. Actually, there are two correct answer for this number, letter A and letter C. Okay, Again, there are two answers in number 3, letter A and letter C. For letter A, the original is do not, do not. But in number 3, the original words for that is she will not. But this is the exception of the rule. The letter C is the exception of the rule. The original is she will not. Okay, let's move to number 4. Which contraction uses the apostrophe correctly? Okay, there are 4 choices here. Take note with the spelling. Take note where the apostrophe is located. Don't forget to write the number 4, and the letter of the correct answer. So letter A, he doesn't walk slowly. So the apostrophe is located between the S and N. Letter B, their designs are superb. So the apostrophe is located between the I and the R. Letter C, your smile is my everything. And the apostrophe is located after letter R. And letter D, you're tearing me apart. The apostrophe is located between U and R. So what is the correct answer? Well, most of you said letter D. Okay, let's check. Yes, you are correct. It's letter D. You're tearing me apart. So the apostrophe is between the U and R. The original words for that are you are. You are tearing me apart. So to make it shorter, from 2 words, it turns 1 word, your. You are, your. But take note with the spelling, you apostrophe R-A. So you are correct, Gob, Annalyn, Amalie, Marikit. Wow, good job. I'm so proud of you. You got it. Now, for number 5, which contraction is incorrect? For the 4 items, it's more on correct contraction. But now, in number 5, we will focus on the incorrect one. Okay, I have here 4 choices. Analyze it properly, okay? And letter A, there. They apostrophe R-E, contracted form of they are. For letter B, they've, they apostrophe V, they've, contracted form of they have. Then letter C, they apostrophe double L, contracted form of they will. And D, they apostrophe D, contracted form of they have. Now, which contraction is incorrect? Don't forget to write the number and the letter of the correct answer. Okay. Again, make sure you write the number. Oh, I see here most of you submitted the answer, and your answer is letter D. Okay, let's check your answer. Yes, you are correct. Lorna, Merlin, Gab, Marilu, Edgy, Annalyn, Caroline, Marikit. Wow. Okay, most of you, actually all of you, it's not most, all of you got it right. Okay, so the they apostrophe D is a contracted word of what? They had and they would. These are the original words. They had or they would, not they have or they have. Okay, now let's have the learning task 2. Okay, for this activity class, put check if the contraction is correct. Then put X if the contraction is incorrect. Are you ready? Okay, let's start the learning task 2. Okay, don't forget to write the number and the letter of the correct answer. Number 1, he's not here. He's not here. Is the contraction correct? If it's correct, put check. If it's incorrect, put X. All right, let's check your answer for number 1. Okay, I'm so excited. Yes, it's correct. The contraction is correct. He's not here. So he's there. Okay, Edgy, very good. Your answer is correct. His, he apostrophe is. Okay, the original two words for that is he is. He is not here. And you are correct, Lorna. Caroline, Gab, Marilu, all your answers are correct. Great job. Okay, number 2. His, the apostrophe between E and S, and another apostrophe between N and T. He's not free. He's not free. Oh, is this correct? So you can put check. If it's incorrect, put X. Okay, wow, I got the answer now from Marikit, from Edgy, from Emily. Wow, is this check or X? Yes, you are correct. It's X. It's incorrect. Remember the rule a while ago? We should only use one contraction in a sentence. Okay? So if we contract he is, so it's better to spell out the word not. Okay? Or you can spell out the he is, then we can contract the not there. Okay? So it's really incorrect. It's wrong. Number 2 is wrong. Okay. Number 3. We're having omelets for breakfast. We're having omelets for breakfast. So the contraction is between E and R. We're having omelets for breakfast. Is this check or X? Don't forget to write the number. Okay. So for number 3, it's check, meaning it is correct. And you are correct, Edgy, Gab, Caroline, Lauren, and Marikit. Marilu also, you are correct. Norlito, very good. We're having omelets for breakfast. The contraction here, we apostrophe RE is correct. Now let's move to number 4. You didn't go to the store on time. You didn't go to the store on time. So the contraction is between the did and the N there. There's a missing letter. It is replaced with apostrophe. The apostrophe is between the N and the T. Okay, you didn't go to the store on time. Okay, don't forget to write the number and the answer. Yes, I have now the answer of Marikit, Caroline, EG. All right, so the answer for this is check, meaning the statement or the contraction being used in the sentence is correct. It's check. Good job. For number 5, you've spoken to Mark, haven't you? Oh, you've spoken to Mark, haven't you? Don't forget to write the number and the answer. If it's correct, put check. And if it's X, if it's incorrect, put X. Oh, I see the answer of Gab. Gab says, it's check, Tutor Ruby. Marilu says, it's check. Okay. Marikit also says, it's check. Caroline also says, it's check. Wow. Charito, Lorna, Edgy. Wow, good job. Let's check your answer. Yes, it's check. So our time is very limited, but before we will end, let me remind you some important things. I hope you can also have your reflection, very short reflection for this very short tutorial. So you can complete the statement. I have learned that. So you state just a line there to have your takeaway for this lesson about contraction. You can do that later. Let me have this one. Okay, I borrowed this material from WikiHow to use contraction. So this is just a reminder, when will you use contraction? So we can use contractions to talking directly to a reader. So if you're a writer, okay, you can use you can talk directly to the reader like, oh, I'm just chilling. So the contraction there is in the word I'm. The two words I am becomes one. Oh, I'm just chilling. So it's like talking directly to a reader. You can use that. And you can also use contraction in writing dialogue in a play or novel. So if you're a writer, okay, feature writer or novel or play writer, you can use contraction like, you're tearing me apart. So the contraction your originally came from two words, you are tearing me apart. So it's okay to use contraction in writing dialogue in a play or novel. And another one, you can also use contraction in creating a slogan or advertisement. I know this is very familiar, very common. I'm loving it. Okay. So here the apostrophe between I and am, for originally it came from two words, I am. All right. Then, since this is an advertisement, for the sake of advertisement, the letter G is missing here and it is replaced with apostrophe. I'm loving it. So, again, these are just some few ideas on how to use contraction in talking directly to a reader and writing dialogue in a play or novel and in creating a slogan or advertisement. But there are also write up that we should not use contractions. Another one. Okay, this material is borrowed also from the WikiHow. So it says here double meanings. Okay, there are contractions that have double meanings like should. Okay, on positive contractions. Okay, so the first sentence here, should like to go to the store. Okay, the contracted word form of she would. She would like to go to the store. That's the long uh, way of saying she would like to go to the store, but the word she would was contracted, becomes should. All right. And another here, should completed the work by the time I arrive. So the contracted word here, okay, form came from the word two words she had. So as you can see, the same contracted word should, but it's quite confusing because it has double meaning. There's a possibility that the should here came from she would or she had. So it's better not to use it, or else you can have double meaning if someone let you spell it out. Okay? According to Edgy Bangigan, I have learned that contraction, there are rules to follow. Yes. When do we use it and how we use it correctly? Thank you for this. God bless. Okay, thank you, Edgy. Another double meanings, and we should avoid using these things. And I'm so grateful to WikiHow for having this material. It says here that, example, we are not. Okay, we are not. So below, we aren't ready yet. Instead of saying we are not ready yet, uh, the are not is contracted to aren't. We aren't ready yet. So the contracted form of we are not. But on the other side, in the negative contractions, we're not going to the party tonight. We're not going to the party tonight. Take a look with the spelling. And the positive side, we, the spelling is we, then the aren't A-R-E-N apostrophe T from we are not. But on the negative, the spelling changes. We apostrophe R-E not going to the party tonight. But the same contracted form from the words we are not. So it has double meaning. So it's better to avoid contractions with these words. Okay? Then another here. Apply only one contraction in a sentence. As you can see in the first line, he's not here. This is check because there's only one contraction, his, from the two words he is. He's not here. Okay, this is correct. But the second one, his, okay, there are two apostrophe here from the contraction of uh, he is. So the apostrophe is between E and S, and the second one between N and T is not free. Okay, don't ever use contraction like this because this is incorrect. The first one is okay, he's not here, only one contraction. Apply only one contraction in a sentence. That's the rule. So following the rules is very important. And another reminder, informal contractions is accepted only in casual conversation. But it's a big no-no or not acceptable in formal conversation. Like if you will gonna listen to some movies, like instead of saying, I'm going to the school tomorrow, they will rather say, I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. Instead of saying going to, which is the proper or the formal one, they will use gonna. Okay. This is an example of informal contraction, and it's okay to use if you are using this in casual conversation. Take note only for a casual conversation. Don't ever use this in formal conversation. Another, what are you? What are you doing? For example, what you doing? Something like that. So this is just a few reminders, additional reminder in following the rules in contraction. Another, it's. So apostrophe is the apostrophe is between the T and S. It from the contraction of it has. Okay? Or it is. Diba? There's a two possibility. It has or it is. Like, it is time to party. It's time to party. Oh, it's the contraction of it and is. Okay? But if it's used in possessive pronoun, okay, the horse lifted its head. It's okay to use it's like this for possessive pronoun, but not for contraction. Okay, so this is just a reminder that you should not be using confusing or contraction with double meanings. And there are also contraction for casual conversation, but not applicable to formal conversation. So once again, this is Tutor Ruby, the substitute teacher of Teacher DJ or Tutor DJ. So thank you so much for listening, everyone. Have a great Tuesday evening. Yes, it's already Tuesday evening because it's beyond 6 o'clock. So have a great day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. See you.